All right. Well, look, it's 2 minutes after the hour, so I don't want to keep anybody waiting. Like to keep everything on time and get it moving in the right direction. So again, I'd like to say good morning, good afternoon, everyone, depending on where you are located. My name is Tommy Aiken. I'm one of the founding members of 360 Life Planning. I want to welcome you to our webinar today. We are very excited to share with you this life-altering 360 life planning selling system. We know we are about to change a lot of agents and a lot of advisors' lives. In my 34 years in this industry, I've worked for a lot of great companies. I've marketed some awesome programs. I've recruited thousands of agents. But I believe there's been, what I believe has been missing is a complete selling system with the correct training. All right? Guys, trust me when I say this. I have seen them all. I have seen the best systems out there. I've seen the worst systems out there. I've seen just about every system that's come across my desk. This is the best system that I've ever been introduced to. Giving consumers a plan and the ability to reach their financial goals, giving advisors the potential to close almost everybody that they come in contact with, and giving them the potential to make more money than they've ever been able to make. So I'm going to be introducing you to the 360 Life Planning platform today, along with the creator of the program. So in addition, you're going to be receiving some follow-up information from us over the next couple of days. How to get involved, how to get contracted with us, all of our contact information. But we're going to share with you now the 360 Life Planning program. So the title says it all right here. Transform your business and lifestyle, closing large IULs and fixed index annuities using 360 Life Planning unique selling system. All right, proven to help the average planner move from closing 20 to 30% to over 80% in a few short months. And the system has also increased the average case size from a nominal $3,000 average to over $18,000 in commissions. And in many instances, we've seen commissions exceed over $100,000. Now, you're probably asking, how is that possible? Well, you hear people talk about it all the time, but it is a selling system. It's a procedure. It's a process. It's a method. It's a course of action designed to achieve a specific and predetermined result. So, now, having an effective selling system is the only way to attain results that are consistent, that are measurable, that benefit the customers and the company, and yield an expected profit. This is a true financial planning selling system for the advisor. So let's talk about this. If you could help your clients build a plan, which would give them a plan to be debt-free immediately, allow them to pay cash going forward for all their major purchases, have an exact date that they can retire, know exactly how much they would have in their retirement accounts, or have an income equal to or greater than 150% of their income they are living off of the day before they retire, and when they die, would leave 100% of their net worth that they had for retirement to their heirs, tax-free and probate-free. Now, if you could do that, would you be interested in learning how you could do this for all of your clients? So, imagine if you could say the following after only 1 year of using the 360 Life Planning system. Average life target premium went from $3,400 to $22,600 in 1 year after using the system. Closed over $1 million of target life premium annually for 8 years straight. Annuity production went from $300K to over $5 million annually. Closing went from 23% to over 92% the first year and has maintained that level ever since. Recruited and trained hundreds of advisors who are now averaging over 80% closing ratios and earning over $200,000 per year. Also, working from 9 to 5 instead of 12 hours a day. Targeting households ages 40 to 62 with incomes of $80,000 to $200,000 plus. So, does this sound like your practice? If not, why? If you could work like this and make $200,000, $300,000 plus per year, wouldn't you want to know how? This is how our advisors live. They work 9 to 5 and they make over $200,000 per year average. So, if you want what our advisors have, you need to take certain action steps, okay? The first of which is becoming a 360 life planning advisor. The second step is attending our life-changing boot camp. So, all of the stats, all of the things that I just read off to you, those are the numbers, those are the stats of John Dahl. John Dahl is our CEO, our president and CEO of 360 Life Planning. All right? All of those numbers are the numbers that he has achieved after he created this system. So, he's a financial expert in the areas of debt elimination, cash flow strategies, retirement planning, estate planning. John has been in the industry for over 30 years. He noticed there was a true lack of helping clients achieve their financial goals as opposed to just helping them plan for retirement or invest for retirement. Right? Over the years, John has realized that a vast majority of the clients that he was introduced to had no plans in place or understood how they could get from now to retirement, had no idea how they could become debt-free and stay debt-free, had obviously no idea how they could pay cash for all their major purchases. I mean, right? They're just trying to get through, get by. And also had no idea when they could retire or even if they could ever retire with the money they had. So, he knew his clients' stress was overwhelming them, which is why they were always looking for another advisor. They didn't have a plan. So, John has helped thousands of advisors and planners change their struggling practices into thriving financial centers. Just to give you some other stats regarding John and what he's done and how he has helped advisor after advisor do the exact same thing that he's done. All right? He led in production with the IMO that he was with. He led in production the entire 10 years he was there using his system. He also trained hundreds in the group year over year. The top 30 producers in the IMO were all students and users of his proven system. So, without any further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce to you John Dahl, the creator of the exclusive system that we are offering you today. So, the man, the myth, John, are you there, brother?
I am, Tommy. Thank you so much. That was really nice of you to say that. Thank you.
Well, we're glad to hear. We're glad to have you here today. We're excited to have everybody on this call. We're excited about the system that we're going to share with people today. And I think the best way to do that is let's get into a little Q&A so that we can help people understand what we're bringing to them today, okay?
All right. Hey, do you mind if I just say a little opening remark? You know, you got to talk a little bit about yourself and, you know, things that you did. And do you mind if I just share a little bit before we get into the Q&A, a little bit about, you know, what I went through and how this system was created and why you and I are here today doing what we're doing? Is that all right?
No, that'd be awesome. Go ahead. You got it, brother.
All right. Thank you. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for jumping on here. And thank you so much for giving us the time to talk to you and share with you a little bit about what we're doing. And it's really important you understand who I am and what I've been through and where I'm going and why I'm on this call. I am a producer, and about 15 years ago, 12 years ago, I got involved with an IMO, and the IMO platform was about selling life insurance, trying to sell big cases, making plans for people to, pay for college, or just making plans for people to do whatever. The plan was kind of like a lot of you understand. They gave me a data fact collecting sheet, and what I was supposed to do was have people come in the office, collect their data, ask them what they wanted to do, what did we want to accomplish. And I came back and I took their data, and I would just say, hey, we're going to take all this stuff and we're going to put it into life insurance, and you're going to cancel this, this, and this, and here's going to be your plan. And when I got convinced that this was the greatest selling system ever, 12 years ago, my first 40 some cases or clients that I met with, I sold one. This is not a made up story. I sold one deal for about $3,800 commission. I figured out that there had to be a different way to do it. So I finally figured out this system, and I ended up going through and I sold this client, and I got to the end, and it was going to be for a $22,000 target premium. He was all excited about it, and he said, I'm going to be giving you $80,000, and it has a $58,000 cash value at the end of year one in this illustration. Where's that $22,000? And I swear the guys that were training me told me when I was asked that, just to tell them flat out that was your commission. So I said, oh, that's my commission. And the guy that I was selling was an engineer, and he said, what? And I said, yeah, that's what I get to earn on this deal. But everything I showed you is a good plan though, right? And he said, this deal's done. No way am I doing a plan for you to make $22,000. Here's why that was a big problem. I was almost broke, literally broke. I had been in the business for 8 months. I made $3,800. My savings were gone. Everything was gone. But I knew life insurance was the right product. I just couldn't figure it out. And I literally panicked. And I said, I need to figure this out. But I knew I was doing the right thing. So I called that client back up, and I just said, hey, can you do me a favor? Like, seriously, tell me, I thought that you were on board. You understood what we were doing and why we were doing it. And I said, could you just tell me, what happened and why you didn't want to become a client? And he did. And I said, wow, that was awesome. I figured out a little bit of the mistakes that I made. So I decided right then and there, I called every single client that I had met with, and I asked them, I said, hey, my name is John Dalt. We met a while back, and, I thought I had built a pretty good plan for you, but why didn't you go with this plan? I really thought it was a good plan, and I'm just trying to get better so I can help my clients in the future. I'm not here to try to sell you. I'm just trying to figure it out. And every lost client that I spoke with gave me honest, gut-wrenching answers as to why they didn't buy. And it was like light bulbs going off in my head, and I knew right then and there I had to figure this out. The next day, I had an appointment with a client, and instead of doing what I had done over and over again because it wasn't working, I just started to ask this guy questions, he and his wife. I just asked them hundreds of questions. If this is what you wanted, then why are you doing what you're doing? If you're telling me you didn't think you could be able to do these things and you didn't know how you could retire, then why are you doing this? And, you shouldn't have debt. So, why aren't you trying to get rid of the debt? And I just kept asking questions and questions. And while we were talking, I actually drew a big circle on the board. I said, here's you and your wife. Here you guys both are. You're 47 years old. You want to retire at 68. Here's all the different things that you're going to have to pay for between now and retirement. And these are outside your everyday budget. And from there, by the end of it, an hour later, the plan, the whole 360 life planning system was literally created in that moment. And I spent the next couple of months perfecting it. And over the next 3 months with the carriers that I was with, I ended up winning the trip and made it to it in the last 3 months of selling. The next year, I went from selling $83,000 of target premium the year before to over $480,000 of target premium the next year. And every year thereafter, I sold over $1 million of target premium every year after using this system. So what started out as a horrible situation, I turned around and I went to everybody and I said, help me help other people. And that's why I'm here today. I know what it's like to be a struggling advisor, and I know what it's like to be a good advisor. And I can help anybody in between there. If you're a struggling advisor, what you're going to learn today will change your life. If you're making a couple $100,000, I can show you how to turn your practice into $1 million practice. This system is unbelievable, and it changes lives immediately. So I just wanted to share with you that, guys, I'm still a producer. I still write business, but my goal now is to get the whole world, as many advisors as I can. Tommy and I and David Ellis, who I partnered with, Tommy and I partner with at Life and Annuity Masters. The guy has more energy than any person I've ever met. And our mission is to take this thing across the United States like a storm, because it's what advisors have been craving. And I've been in this industry for 30 plus years. Tommy's been in it 30 plus years. David's been in it 30 plus years. I've shown this to carriers. I've shown it to C-level executives at different carriers, and every one of them agreed it's the best system they've ever seen. And that's why we partner with a couple of carriers, because they're so excited about it. So, Tommy, I thank you for giving me this opportunity, and I look forward to the next 20 or 30 minutes and explaining to everybody what this is all about and why it's going to change their life. But I just wanted everybody to know, I'm no different than anybody else that carries a life and annuity license. The only difference between me and you is that I have a system that in the last 3 years, I have closed 100% of every client I've been in front of, 100%. My goal is that what we're going to show you when you become a 360 life planning certified expert in this industry, and it's a really simple process. If we can take you from closing 20 or 30% to get you to 50% in the first year, or 60% or 70%, I've got a group of guys that are over 82% average in the whole group. It'll change your life. And if you can change your case sizes from, $600, $700, $900 to $22,000 to $50,000, it's life altering. That's why I'm here. I want to be able to help advisors that were like me. You were passionate. You knew it was a good thing. You knew life insurance was good, but you just couldn't figure out how to get the clients to see it the way you saw it. And that's what I've done. I figured out a way to have the clients see what we see and why my clients get just as excited about life insurance as I do. So, Tommy, thank you just for letting me rant a little bit.
Oh, that's great. That's exactly what we're here to do. We're here to talk about the program. I appreciate that intro. That's awesome. I think that's what people need to hear. There's several talking points that we're going to go over today, and I'm going to move on to the next slide here. But before I ask you a couple questions, I just want to let everybody know. Look, I realize you come to these webinars, you get invited to a lot of stuff. There's a lot of hype out there in the industry. Believe me, I've seen it. I've been a part of it. And so, and I'm an optimist. My nature is an optimist, okay? But over the years, I've also become a realist. And when I say a realist, I've been hyped up on a lot of stuff, and I've seen a lot of stuff out there, and a lot of it hasn't worked. But let me tell you what I did. I followed John around for the last year and a half, and I watched him do this. And you know what? I don't know how many people I've heard him do this to, but it's countless. But let me tell you what, he's right. I've never heard anybody say no to him yet after he got through making his presentations. Never. I mean, they all want it. They all want this type of plan. But he's the planner. I'm not. So let's get into this. Let's talk about this. I'm going to ask some questions. John, I want you to just, talk about the different things that we've got scheduled out here. But, I look at the first questions and it says, we need to stop looking at ourselves as less than. So, for the benefit of everybody on here, can you explain what you mean by looking at ourselves as less than?
Yeah, I certainly will. And it was, I came up with this because it was the way that I saw myself. And after talking to hundreds of advisors, I've come to the conclusion that somehow over the years, life insurance agents went from, the 1920s where everybody was a life insurance agent and they walked around like Ned Ryerson on that movie with, Bill Murray, where it's Groundhog's Day. And every time he sees Ned Ryerson and he's like so excited to tell him he's a life insurance agent and ask him if he wants to come in. Today, it's almost the strangest thing when I hear people ask life insurance agents, hey, what do you do for a living? And it's like, I sell life insurance. It's the weirdest things because life insurance agents categorize themselves as less than financial advisors. And this has to change, and we will change the more we are armed with knowledge and the ability to actually make plans for our clients. So what I mean by that is, if you know every time that you're going to meet with a client that you actually have a plan and that you can actually change their lives, it will change the way that you look at people. Instead of, here's what the traditionalists in the life insurance industry do. You either sell final expense or term insurance. And all you're trying to do is figure out how much money does that client have on a monthly basis to be able to buy something from you. Or you might be, you want to sell whole life or IUL. And you're trying to figure out, how much can I get this guy? Do they have $300 a month, $400 a month? You're just trying to figure out what amount to sell them. And if you're a broker or an advisor, a licensed, 365 IRA, I don't care what you are, but a lot of people are looking at people going, man, if I could just get that $500,000 IRA, get the AUM under management, or if I could flip that annuity for $100,000 into my fixed indexed annuity. We're just looking at clients like a piece of meat, but we don't want to tell everybody that we're a life insurance agent. And I think with the 360 life planning system, not only will you learn how to do real planning, but your confidence will skyrocket where you'll shout out on the rooftop like Ned Ryerson used to do that you are a certified 360 life planning expert, because you'll know every time you meet with somebody, you don't have to look at them as a paycheck. You don't have to look at them and say, oh man, I hope I close this deal because my mortgage is due, my rent is due. I don't have enough money to do my marketing for next month. I need to close this deal. With the 360 life planning system, going in what your objective is. How it's going to go because it goes the same every single time. And you almost know what you're going to make before you even sit down with the clients. You don't even have to worry about it. So eventually what you do is you can become actually a really good listener. So we need to stop looking at ourselves as less than, a broker, a guy that works at Legend Financial or wherever it may be. Because today, man, I am a 360 life planning expert and I will change my clients' lives. I'm a certified 360 life planning expert. And if you're an advisor out there, I will change your life immediately when you learn this system. And when you learn this system, you don't have to be like John Dalt. You don't have to be like Tommy Aiken. You get to be yourself. And you might be the best public speaker. You might be the most anxiety-ridden speaker. You might be super introverted and you like to sell people at the table. Here's what I tell you, and I'll promise you. When you are armed with a system that is consistent and reliable and dependable, and you know the results before you even sit down, you will have the confidence of Atlas and you'll be able to hold the entire earth on your shoulders. That's what this system does for you. So we need to stop looking at ourselves as less than. Here's my reality. Tommy, I've said this before. My office hours are 9 to 5. And the reason my office hours are 9 to 5 and my clients come to see me, I never go see a client, is that I am more important to any client, any more of my clients' attorneys or their doctors. I think of myself as more important than anybody in their life unless they have a life-threatening illness. I've never seen an attorney go to somebody's house, and I've never seen a doctor go to somebody's house to do a checkup. I no longer, over the last 12 years, I no longer go to see my clients. I am more important than an attorney, and I am more important than a doctor in most cases. They don't go to see the clients. I see myself as more than. My clients know when I talk to them, like, you're coming to see me? Good. I charge $1,000 an hour. You want to come and see me? I'll give you a free consultation. I don't see myself as less than. Do you get it? So what happens is that when we change our attitude and we change the way that we see this, when you're armed with a system that you know will give you consistency in closing and helping you know that you'll sell to your client and give them what they want, not you trying to sell them a product, it will change your life. You will skyrocket into a dimension you've never seen before. So that's what I mean by that, Tommy. We need to stop looking at ourselves as less than.
No, it's great. I mean, that's fantastic. I mean, thanks for elaborating on that and explaining that. That's an important part of the program. All right. So you ready to move on to the next question, John?
Yeah, I am.
Right on. That's good. That's awesome stuff. I mean, and again, I hear that from advisors all the time. So let's talk about this. What if you knew the exact formula of how to build perfect plans for your clients every time, and they were guaranteed to work 100%? Now, please explain. Please explain how you can do that. And it can work 100%. Give us your formula.
Perfect. Basically, it goes like this. When I would sit down with clients, it's kind of like I was just saying. My goal was to try to figure out how much money they had available to buy a life insurance policy. That's all I sat down with. I didn't know what to do from there. You know, like they would say, well, how am I going to pay for my kid's wedding coming up? Or, you know, my wife wants to remodel the house and it's going to be $40,000. How can you help me figure that out? And I was like, I don't know, but how much money do you have available? You know, if you die today, you're not going to be able to do any of that. So you need to have life insurance. And they're like, well, okay, but we need some planning. We need to figure out how to have some planning. So one of the things when I sat down with and called all of those 40 different clients that never became clients, one of the things I realized was this. I knew what they wanted after those calls. I knew after I created this 360 life planning system that I had something special, because here is what we can do every single time with every single one of our clients. I want to put it in a way that I want you to understand the advisors on this call. And there's hundreds of you on this call. Our advisors, when you become a 360 life planning certified expert, our advisors live by this credo. Every one of our clients has a plan to get debt-free immediately. They have a plan to pay cash for major purchases between now and retirement. They have an exact age for retirement and an exact amount they will need for retirement. An exact income equal or greater than 150% of the income they were living off of before retirement for their entire retirement. And when they die, they will leave an inheritance equal to 100% of their estate at retirement age, tax-free and probate-free. The reason this is so important, we don't wing it like other advisors do, is because this is what your clients are telling you. Guys, we need to figure out, like, here's where we're at in our lives. You know, we're 48 years old, we're 52 years old, we're 57 years old. We're hoping, well, we were hoping that we could retire at 65, but, you know, we've only got $300,000 in our retirement accounts. You know, we've got to pay for 2 of our kids' weddings still. You know, my wife wants to redo the kitchen. You know, we were really hoping that we could, you know, keep the house here and, you know, when we retire, have, you know, be like, you know, those snowbirds and, you know, go get a place in Florida or whatever it may be. But we're terrified if we do any one of those things, we don't even think we can actually retire. And you look at your clients, and the wife will go, honey, you can retire someday. And he's looking at you and he's like going, I don't think I can ever retire. All the things that we have to buy, we don't even know if we can retire now. Every one of my clients, the day that we meet, we get them debt free. We then build them a plan, simultaneously figuring out, tell me when you want to retire, Mr. and Mrs. Client. And they give me a range. And I'm like, okay, let's get a real range. Tell me how much you think you have to have in retirement accounts. Well, the number that they always come up with is $1 million. They all say $1 million. Well, you're sitting in front of the client and they're 52 years old and they've got $300,000 in retirement accounts. They've been saving since they were 24. They've been saving 28 years. They have 7 years to go before retirement. And you look at them and say, what are the chances you believe that you're honestly going to get to $1 million when you're sitting on 300,000 and you've only got 7 years to go and it took you 28 years to get to 300,000? And they say, we don't. That's why we have to work for the rest of our lives. And it's like, well, what if that weren't true? What if everything you think weren't true? What if you had a plan, and we're going to do this today, Mr. and Mrs. Client, today in the next hour. We're going to build a plan, and we're going to start with you at dead, and we're going to work backwards. We're going to figure out how much money you need in retirement, and we're going to have a plan no matter what happens. You're going to have 150% of your income you were living off of before retirement in retirement, and we're going to have an exact age at retirement. As a matter of fact, we're going to know exactly how much you're going to have to have in retirement accounts, which will allow for you to pay for the things on the way between now and retirement. That's what we call a 360 life plan. Take a circle, start on the side, add everything up that they're going to be spending money on: weddings, kids' college, cars, vacations, fixing up their home, emergencies, then figure out when they're going to retire, when they're going to have a retirement, what they need for retirement income. And when you do that for a client, and it is pretty darn easy to do it, you don't wing it anymore. You build a plan to get them out of debt. You pay cash for things between now and retirement. You know exactly when they're going to retire. Ask a client this: what's more important, to know when you're going to retire and have your money there guaranteed, or to have all your money there now and not guaranteed? Ask your clients that simple question. I promise you, they'll give you, it's more important to have it there when we retire guaranteed. But we're all focused on, we need to have it someplace right now, blah, 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 in retirement account so I can get my percentage or my commission or whatever it may be. And it's like, guys, why don't you do it simultaneously? What if you could build a plan simultaneously with a plan that's guaranteed to have the money there at retirement, the exact amount they need, the exact day they need it, and they can still live between now and retirement without fear of never being able to retire? That's what our plans do. So when we go into a meeting with a client, our advisors never wing it. They have an exact plan every single time. It's replicatable, duplicatable, dependable, and consistent. And when you're in the training process and you come down to our boot camp, in 3 days, you will leave there an expert, and on Monday, you'll be able to start writing business. Why? Because we teach you not to wing it. We give you a system that's dependable, reliable, and scalable and consistent. So that's what I mean. We don't wing it. We have a real plan. It's the same plan every time, and it works every time. So that's what I mean, Tommy.
Well, John, that's powerful. I know I've told you that's powerful many, many times. Every person that has heard that, every advisor that has heard that feels the same way. So thanks for elaborating on that so our audience can understand exactly what you do and how everybody has a plan. Again, going back to a system, that's part of the system. So thank you for elaborating on that. Let's move on. All right. So we educate our clients on how to build their own perfect products to store their assets, which result in 100% effectiveness. So yeah, this is an interesting one. So your clients, how to build their own perfect product. That's a new one. Can you let's go with that. Tell us how you achieve that.
Well, thank you again. But just think of everything I was just elaborating on the first two parts. If you decide to start thinking like a real planner, I'll give you an example. I have what we call ODD, oppositional defiance disorder. And most people actually have it. They don't even realize it. That means when people tell you what to do, sometimes you're like going, don't tell me what to do. I don't want to do that. So what I've figured out is that if I don't like being told what to do, my clients don't like being told what to do. So what I decided to do was start educating them. And if you educate them enough, they actually, the plan that I was talking about, the credo, are what our advisors live by and what they do for their clients. My clients actually build their own plan. Every single time, every single one of them build their own plan. And then I tell them, guys, you just made the perfect plan. I am so proud of you. Congratulations. You made an excellent plan. We need to be able to put that someplace so your excellent plan doesn't get ruined by all these different outside variables that will destroy your plan. So do you know everything about every product out there? And they'd say no. And I said, good, that's where you get into trouble most of the time. You keep listening to people tell you where to go with your products or your money, and you're listening to people tell you how to do it, but nobody's building you a plan. I know that because I have never seen a plan ever in my whole entire career, ever like anything what we do with our clients. So I can say with confidence that when I educate my clients, they build their own plan. And then what's really cool, they actually build their own product. They say, hey, John, I put them through what we call a stress test. And I say, Mr. and Mrs. Client, I don't want you to ruin this plan that you've built. It's a beautiful plan. I don't want you to ruin it. So, and I don't want to tell you where to put this, but you don't know enough about products. So why don't you tell me what you would love in a product? If you could put your money in some vehicle, tell me what it is. And they tell me what it is. And they tell me what they want. And then we go through and we say, okay, so we'll make a stress test. Wherever you put this money, it has to have all these different attributes. And then we list all the different varying financial products, and we go through each and every one of them. And here's the weird part. 100% of the time, they always pick a cash value life insurance. 100% of the time. And then you look at it and you go, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Client, we were just going through all of your assets and, your whole, every part about your financial life. And, you just told me you built the product that you want to use definitely. And it looks like the only one that you wanted to put all your money in is the only one that you don't actually have. Why is that? Well, I don't know. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Client, when you get advice from people, is the advice that you get always in your best interest? Well, no. Well, if this is the product you built, this is the plan you built, and you built the perfect product for yourself, and it's the only product you're not using, don't you think there's something wrong? So here's what I'm saying. If I think my brother is, sorry for a technical word. If I tell you all about my brother, and I tell you, man, he's kind of a jerk. Well, if I hear you talking to somebody else, oh, hey, I was just talking to John, and John's brother's a jerk, I'm going to get mad at him. Here's my point. If you educate your client and they build their own plan and they build their own product, when somebody says to them, what are you doing? They can confidently look at them and tell them what they did. And they can't be talked out of it because they built their plan and they built the product. That's what we do. And I will tell you, you will see your life change in a split second in your closing ratios immediately by using that. And so what I tell people all the time, look, you advisors out there, you have this weird kind of a place in a kind of a weird decision. It's 2020, it's January 9th, the beginning of the new year. And a lot of you went through 2018 and 2019 and you kind of said, I was going to make a change. I'm going to do a lot of things. And, this is going to be my year. This is going to be my year. And this is what I say to everybody. And it doesn't matter if it's January 8th or January 9th or July 10th or November. Here's the key part. If you want what our advisors have and you're willing to make certain changes, I'm telling you, there's certain steps that you have to take. One, become a 360 life planning advisor. Join and change your life immediately. Two, go to our boot camp. You can learn online in our webinars, our webinar library, but going to the boot camp, you'll be up and running in 4 days and out writing business. and our boot camp is free. So if you want what we have and you're willing to do certain things, get on board with 360 Life Planning, become an advisor, and go to our boot camp. It'll change your life. So that's what I'm saying, Tommy. That's how we do it.
Right on. Well, thank you, John. I mean, that's given everybody a really good overview. I always go back to this. Look, John is a proven producer. He's been there. He's done that. He is doing the training, and he is doing the teaching. I mean, again, as all of you out in the field know, it's not somebody behind a marketing desk. It's not somebody trying to sell you on something that they've never done before. John has been there, done that. He has taught many, many advisors this system over the years, and they've had a tremendous amount of success. So we are now taking this out nationally on a national basis, so that all advisors can have access to it. Let's talk about this. And John, we're going to kind of go back and forth a little bit, and then we'll close up the webinar. We want to tell everybody, look, if you participate in the 360 Life Planning Program, look, this is what you're going to get. All right? You'll get free attendance to all the live training events. All 360 Life members will receive free access to all the live and online events that we produce. Again, this is the system that has advisors' cases going from 3,000 to 25,000 of commissions and as much as 100,000 in commissions in less than 12 months. And again, and if that wasn't enough, look, we're seeing closing ratios from the advisors go from 23% to over 73% just in a few short months. Okay, so you have access to all of those training events. All right. Also, the 360 Life Planning selling system, the presentations. All right, you will get all of the presentations produced by 360 Life Planning as a part of the process. We use the most effective training methods to ensure your success, your presentation skills, and the knowledge of the system. I'll tell you this, John is a psychology guy. He built this whole system. This system is not hard to learn. I mean, you can learn it in 3 to 4 easy steps. I mean, but he is a psychology guy, and he has thought it all the way through, and you will get all of that training in our presentations and at our events. You will also have access to all of the 360 Life Planning, the web portal, online video library, hours of John doing his training, just like he's going to do at the boot camp that we're going to be having. All of it is online, broken up into modules. All right, presentations, coaching, advice. We also have lead generation programs. You'll have access to all of these modules to perfect your game, also at your own convenience, with a full spectrum of tools and ways to grow your business. All right, this is all available to all of our 360 Life Planning members. Also, website access. This is one of the most important things that is on our program that we really haven't talked about, but it is John's objection strategy system. Once you learn the psychology of how he handles objections and how he teaches how to handle objections in this system, this particular segment alone has changed the course and income of many agents and advisors. We call it our HAWK system. It is one of the most important things we do. Also, bi-weekly live group coaching. Again, this is our commitment. This is something in regards to training that I've never seen anybody else do. We have bi-weekly training. You can discover the psychology of closing all your cases, all the techniques, all the advanced sales strategies, everything. We have bi-weekly training that our 360 Life Planning members participate in. Also, personal one-on-one coaching. All right, you'll have your own 360 Life coach to help you with everything that you need to maximize your income. Sales presentations, perfecting your presentation, overcoming objections, and learning how to get paid. All right, getting off of that roller coaster, okay, by using this system. Also, John was very, very effective at seminar selling. So you're going to get and you're going to learn the seminar selling system that we have that has produced qualified financial planning clients for thousands of advisors nationwide. So you'll be trained by the advisors that are actively using it now. All right. Again, we talked a little bit about the handling of the objections course. Again, this will be the most comprehensive training on handling objections that you've ever been a part of. All right. Again, it's going to be live at our boot camp. It's also going to be online on our web portal that all members will have access to. Also, you know, we're going to throw in some production bonuses. We're going to do some different things. So we will be announcing this at our February 18th event. We will be giving away 2020 Tesla 2-year leases paid for by 360 Life Planning for people that qualify. It's just one of the things that we're going to be doing. We'll be announcing that. Also, support for the program. I mean, this is critical too. This is a big reason. This is part of the partnership with Life and Annuity Masters. All right. Again, having this back office support to be able to help you with your business. One-on-one personal coaching, weekly 360 Life Planning group coaching with myself and John, our Thriving Practice quarterly newsletter. All right. Live quarterly 360 boot camps that we'll be holding in Simi Valley. Again, being able to access Simi Valley is flying into LAX, flying into Burbank. But we have a building here in Simi Valley where we'll be doing all of the training events. The seminar selling system, again, we've got another proven lead generation program also that we'll be announcing at the event, at the boot camp on the 18th through the 21st, February 18th through 21st. We're also going to have a leaderboard of top producers. We're also going to have a mastermind group that our top producers will participate in. So, what does it take to be a part of the life planning program, the 360 Life Planning program? Look, guys, the investment is minimal. It's nominal. It's a $500 orientation fee and a monthly fee of $200. Now, I say that because, look, there's programs out there that charge $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 to be involved. Well, that's because they need that to make money. Okay? We don't need that to make money. You have success in our program. If you're successful, we're going to be successful. But you got to commit to the program. You've got to have skin in the game to make it work. You've got to be committed to learning the system, to perfecting the system so that you can be successful. So we've even got it in here where, look, once you achieve $150,000 of target premium, your recurring fee stops. So look, we're going to have a boot camp. First boot camp is February 18th through 21st. It will be held at the Life and Annuity Masters office in Simi Valley, California. And again, it will be a 3-day event. So this is what we're offering today. All right. So that is the price. That's what it costs. And before we end the webinar, here's what we want to talk to you about. Look, come to the event, register the event, become a 360 Life Planning advisor. Come to that boot camp. Okay? Look, you can call us at the number right there, 805-583-2307. You can speak to me. You can speak to one of our marketing specialists and say, look, I want to get started. I want to get in. I want to get involved in the program. We'll get you involved. We'll send you the information so that you can get signed up for the program. Or you can even email us at our info@360lifeplanning.com. Email us. Say, hey, I want to get involved. I want to be a part of this program. I want to be part of the 360 Life Planning community. I promise you, this program will change your life. We guarantee it. We do. And so with that, before we end and conclude the webinar, John, I would just like for you to give your closing remarks. Talk about the program. Talk about what it's going to take, how people can get involved, and give her your closing remarks before we close up the webinar.
Thanks, Tommy. What Tommy was just saying is what this is all about. In having been in the industry for as long as I have been, and been a struggling advisor and then been a successful advisor, one of the things I can tell you right now, there are systems out there. I've researched them. You can go get them, like Tommy said, from $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. I've also seen people pay it. And I've also seen people come to me and say, John, can you help me? I don't know what I'm doing. The reason I'm saying that is that if you have to charge $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 to join something, and then you have to pay $30,000 or $10,000 to go to their boot camp to learn their system, I promise you, it's an extremely complex system, and they're trying to make money off of you. Here's the reason why we charge so little. Because I want you to have skin in the game. I want somebody that's willing to invest a little bit in themselves to have a huge change of life. Put it this way. It's $700 to join us. If you go to the boot camp, which I strongly encourage you, it will change your life. The hotels, we got it booked. It's for like $130, 3 nights. So that's $400. A flight is anywhere between $300 and $400. I live in Michigan. It cost me $328 to fly out to Simi Valley, to LAX. So for around $1,500, the food's going to be taken care of while you're there. So for around $1,500, I want you to think about this. You've been literally praying, begging, searching for something to change the way that your planning has been going. Something that's going to help you get to where you've always wanted to be. You know you can do it, you just don't have a system. You know you can do it, but you just don't know how to do it. How much are you willing to invest to change your life? I guarantee you our system will work. I guarantee you you will be successful. I guarantee you you will change your clients' lives. I guarantee you you will be able to build a huge agency if you want it. If you're making $50,000, I will show you how to get to 200. If you're making 200,000, I'll show you how to get to $1 million. The system is that powerful. But you're also going to get all other coaching to help you through this process. So one of the things that blows my mind are people that will spend $20,000, $30,000 to go to learn a system or to buy a system, and then they'll buy another $5,000 to go to the boot camp. We don't want to make money off of your fees. That's just to cover our cost. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I know what this is going to do for you. I want to partner with you. We want to partner with you. I partner with David Ellis over at Life and Annuity Masters. The guy has more integrity than any other person in this industry. He knows how to help and build agencies and IMOs. He and I know how to do this. Tommy is the best recruiter in the industry. I found Tommy a year and a half ago, and I said, Tommy, stick with me. We're going to change the world. And here we are a year and a half later. We're setting off to change the world. We're all in. We invested everything. We're all in. I'm asking you, Tommy's asking you, invest in yourself for $1,500 to change your life, to buy into a system that will change your clients' lives. If you want what we have and you're willing to take certain steps, become a 360 life planning advisor and go to the boot camp. You will never regret it. I guarantee you I will give you everything I have to show you how to become successful. Tommy will give you everything he has to make you successful. Our team that we have over in Simi Valley will do anything in their power to make you successful. On the invite, it says February 18th to 21st for a 3-day boot camp. It is a 3-day boot camp, but we offer a 4th day on the 21st. That's a bonus day. If you want to stay the 4th day, I'm going to go through a remarkable program, the Haas program, how to handle objections. It's incredible. So I just want to say to you, look, if we wanted to make money off of you just to join, we'd charge you $20,000, $30,000. Have all the fancy little videos and all that other stuff that some other organizations give you. And all it does is complicate the client. It makes the sale more difficult. We have a really unbelievably unique system. It's simple. You will learn it quickly. It's bite-sizable. And when you have struggles, we have calls every other week, webinars, to go through all the different things that you guys have. It'll be interactive webinars. Hey, John, we're struggling with this. Hey, John, we'll have other guys out there telling their success stories. Become part of our community. Here's my close. I've been an advisor, and I'm telling you, I know for a fact, it can be a lonely existence. At 360 Life Planning, we are a community and we are a family. You're not going to be in business by yourself. You're going to be in business by yourself, but not alone. You're going to be in business for yourself, but not by yourself. We're going to work on this together as a team. Here's the cool part. Our business is recession proof. I'll explain that at boot camp. You have to stop selling and learn how to counsel people. Tommy said that I do a lot of psychology. The only psychology I do is I listen. Most advisors want to talk. I listen. And then I ask them questions and let them build their own plan and build their own product. Become a 360 Life Planning certified advisor and change your life. Thanks, Tommy.
Hey, great, John. Thank you for that. And again, I know we're running right here in an hour, and that's awesome. Again, I want to thank everybody for joining today. Couple things before we just end up here. Look, you can contact me. You can contact any of our marketing specialists over here at Life and Annuity Masters. That's the phone number, 805-583-2307. You can talk to myself or you can talk to them, and we'll get you the information if you want to get signed up for the boot camp so that we can get that to you. Also on the webinar, right there on the webinar question, there's a panel right there on the right-hand side that says questions. So, you can also respond to that. You can put questions in there. You can also make a comment, say, hey, I want to get started. Let me know how to get started. Have somebody call me and talk to me, and we'll do it that way. It doesn't matter. Just give us a call or even email us at info@360lifeplanning.com. Say, hey, this is John. This is Tommy. Hey, give me a call. I want to get started, and we'll get started. We'll get you started in the 360 Life Planning program. So again, I want to thank everybody for taking time out of their day today. I know that you're probably getting bombarded with things at the beginning of the year, trying to get things fixed up. But again, the time is perfect. Okay. You've got an opportunity to learn from one of the best in the industry and have a system that will give you a successful and thriving practice from here on out. Literally, you're gonna go out, you're gonna write your first case. Not only is it gonna take care of the minimal fees that you have, but you're gonna be profitable the very first case you write. Okay, and you'll be able to leave that boot camp and you'll be able to go write that first case. All right, I've already talked to people that have done that immediately after going through the training. The very first case, they make $20,000 in commissions. They paid for their fees. They're profitable immediately. So again, it's not about the fees. It's about, look, we want to make you successful. If we make you successful, we're all going to be successful in this together. That is the 360 Life Planning community that we're building. So again, I want to thank everybody for joining the call. John, thank you for everything today. Just kind of opening up, sharing your heart, sharing everything that has helped you in your career and what we're building here and what we're going to be doing for advisors from here on out. So thank you for all of that. Just great information. So again,
thank you.
I'm going to
Tommy,
leave the screen up. Yes.
I just want to add one thing. Just like I did with my advisors, my clients I didn't close, I called and asked them, guys, let us know your feedback too. What did you like? What did you not like? We need to keep getting better. I am a fan of constant improvement. So if you have feedback for us too, I would appreciate that.
Yeah, you bet. So anyway, that's, you can just go to the question box right there on the right-hand side of the GoToWebinar panel, and you can put your questions in. You can make suggestions, whatever it is. Again, we're looking forward to working with you. We thank you for attending today. We look forward to speaking with you individually. And with that, we're going to conclude the webinar right now. I'll leave this up so that if you want to make, make any suggestions or you want to ask any questions, please feel free to do so, and we'll make sure that we get with you. So again, thank you for joining the webinar today. Hope you have a great day. We look forward to working with you soon. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.